Well, everybody, here we are. It's finally time. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, I want to thank everybody so much for voting on this. But before we get to that, before we talk about anything about this, and I'll also be doing a recap. This is Saki Nakata, Sub-Final Anime 2024 here. Also known as John Pullman, writer, manga name, or manga author, as everybody enjoys. And Gabe, in general, yeah, there we go, yeah. Now, come on now. Now that out of the way, before I explain what's in this, I want to tell you that the votes I saw in general, yes won. As in, yes won, not I want one more. No, as in WON. The yes category won. I said in a post recently, not to mention Metamorphosis 2, the next chapter was made 2 weeks ago. Or it was actually released 2 weeks ago. Needless to say, the yes category has 82%, and therefore it won. 14 votes in all, 7% was I don't know, and another 7% was on 2 mangas are enough. And that leads us up to 14 votes in total, along with 10 comments and I think 9 likes. I don't know. But yeah, everybody, thanks for voting on this. Thank you so much. I guess it's time to do a recap, but as a little lore fun fact note, I honestly wasn't expecting everybody to say, yes, please do it, please make another one. Yeah, so, I mean, here you have it. Now, let's note some things down, okay? Note number 1. The first note. Before we get into Metamorphosis 3, and yes, it is finished. Before we get into it, note that this is a recap at the moment, known as by Metamorphosis 2 being released already. Like I said, I couldn't reach Shindo L to see if he wanted a sequel, and now it's getting a prequel. Yep. Now, as I have Metamorphosis downstairs made by Shindo L, which is the first one, I just feel like I have to note this down. We're following the reborn ending, the canon ending, in my opinion. If nobody knows what the reborn ending is, it's when Saki Yoshida dies, and she gets another chance. She's reborn in another life with her daughter. And yes, her daughter dies inside her, which is sad. And with her having a reborn life, this led the story down, this whole thing has been real good. Now, the second one also has a reborn ending, but I'm going to leave a surprise inside of this one. I want to know if anybody can guess what the surprise is. Now, previously on Metamorphosis, still following in the reborn ending canon category, if you don't know who Jay and Nikki are, go ahead and check out Metamorphosis 2, the next chapter. Please do, I insist. Jay, he gets a reborn life, and Nikki does not. But, again, I want to know if anybody can find the secret inside of this story. And the person who killed Nikki was trying to get money. And we're going to find out in a few minutes of why that is. The protagonist in this one is called Jane. She's the person that killed Nikki. And that being all said and done, and that sad lore out of the way, because what's Metamorphosis? A sad horror story, or known as a sad horror manga. And since this is the last one, it is very short, and it's not that long. But that being said, everybody, enough of me doing this. This was a really important note to note down. Enough of this. Let's get into the last part of Metamorphosis. This is Metamorphosis 3. Let's hop right into it. And if you think about it, Metamorphosis is now a manga of chronicle events. Here we go. And you know your boy's at it again. We got the colors. And by colors, I mean the title and the characters in general. Welcome to the final chapter of Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis 3, the Soul Fate chapter. And, yeah, I know you all can't see it, but the chapter word is actually in green and blue, but it's kind of worn out. Here, see, there it is. Okay, now get back to it. And this time around, the chapters are called Fate. So, Fate 1, Abandoned Fate. 13 days after the death of Jay and Nikki Shirabane, aka Jason and Nikki Jabane. So, do I get it? Do I get my money, sir? Huh? Please. I need it to pay for my mom's cure. She has an illness, a sickness. Beep, beep. He hung up on me. Bastard. Jane, age 15. Damn it. Why? Why am I even doing this? My friend Jay is dead, and I've always hated Nikki, said Jane Inosuke as she walked home feeling sad. Jane is age 15 and is an assassin and has short, bushy, soft black hair, black eyes, and wears a blue shirt, pink pants, and brown shoes, and hates being an assassin. Hey Mom, I'm home. You here? Said Jane as she ran upstairs to see her mom was sleeping in bed and still alive for now. I'm happy you're still alive. Alright, so my evoker had to actually be here. So let's get to this. When she went upstairs. Oh, it's you, my daughter. I love you so much, but I'm so scared. Beep, beep. Help me. No. Hold on. I'm calling for help. Damn it. Pick up. Mom, just try to breathe, okay? Said Jane as she panicked. But when they finally got to the hospital, the doctor said, did you drive here or were you picked up by an ambulance? Said Dr. Akeja. I was driving here with my mom by an ambulance. Why? Said Jane as she stood up in a state of fear. I'm sorry for your loss. There's nothing we could do. She suffered a heart attack. Mom! No! That broke me that night. I was broken. As I went in to see my mom in a body bag, I saw other name tags. They read, Saki Yoshida, age 17. Hayato, age unknown. Mr. and Mrs. Yoshida, age unknown. Jay Jabani, age 16. Nikki Jabani, age 18. And then here, I'll have to say this. And I saw Saki's classmates in body bags, all cut up in many dead police officers. My mind and body entered sadness, hell, and trauma. I knew I was changing somehow, in a bad way of rage and something different. Just how would I change? How would it come to be? Fate, too, a fate of blame and bullying for Jane. 3 days later at school. Hey, shit. Ha. Is that you, Jane? If you want my... Is that you, Jane? If you want my pity for your mom, I ain't got none, you stupid girl. Leave me alone, Brett. I don't want to fight, okay? Said Jane, as she just stood in the hall of the school. As she turned around, she began to break and said, I'm warning you. If you don't want to die, leave me alone. What did you say, you skank? When he called me that, I blacked out and broke his arms, and I punched his face so hard, not even a hospital could help him. When I came to, he was already dead. And for days on end, I got blamed. And as I was blamed, I lived on the streets because my house was taken away. I even got sick. I was homeless. 12 days later. Oh, wow. What's this pretty thing? I never should have picked this up, 'cause now I could see dead people's souls, and I ran into a person that I never wanted to see. Huh? Hey, what's a girl like you doing out here? I'm Andrew. What's your name? You can come with me, said Andrew, as Jane was happy again. This joy would not last forever at all. Andrew Dechant is age 24, so he's an adult, and a very abusive person, and has bright green eyes, short brown hair, and wears a dark black shirt, brown pants, and black shoes. If only I said no to this, would have never happened to me. So how far is your house, Andrew? Oh, and I'm Jane. See the look on his face, everybody? Oh, it's not far at all. God, if you have warned me, this would never have happened to me, along with picking up the soul charm for me to see the souls of the dead people. Welcome to my house, Jane-chan. Go meet everyone else, because you're my new slave as well, said Andrew with a smile as Jane was chained up with everyone else. She felt scared and began to cry. Okay, before we get into the third chapter, known as Fate 3, I just realized I did not give a warning about this story. I mean, by all we know, it's obviously rated R, and you can see what for. Before we even get into this, I'm so sorry I forgot. I'm really tired right now, but the tired is starting to wear off. So, obviously this is rated R for gore, language, and a little bit of blood, but it's also, in this chapter's got the most disgusting things and very sad things. I warned everybody that Metamorphosis is sad, so I guess that was the warning there. Yeah, this is only going to get sadder as we go, so if you already didn't get it by now, I'm sorry, but lock and load, everybody. It's time for it to break us down, all of us. And no, I don't want anybody to actually break down, okay? This is just a story for entertainment and to finish off the Metamorphosis series. That's all. Just like my other mangas, all for entertainment. Now, it's time to go. Alright, and with all that said and done, Fate 3, Souls of the Dead, in fear of being Andrew's slave, Jane's fate along with other girls. 3 days later, yes, thanks. Well, my girls, my list just came in, and I'm gonna list down names, said Andrew as his twisted, sick mind had him think of names to list down. There was gonna be much more things in this chapter, just saying, but there wasn't, so be glad with what you have right now. I'm just saying as scrap content and warning. I keep hearing voices. Am I losing it? Hey, listen to our voices. We are souls of the dead. Good ones, said Jay's soul, as Saki and Nikki and Jay and Hana-chan looked at her. Jane saw the other girls get killed in front of her. Jane asked, I can't even move anymore. I'm hungry, and my legs are numb. What do I do? Someone, tell me, please. Nikki, I'm sorry. Jay, help me, please. Saki, you and your daughter, save me. But as Andrew had unchained Jane from the wall, he gave her some toilet water in a bowl to drink and some mud on a plate to eat. I'm not doing it. Well, you're an ungrateful bitch. Don't fall down the same path we did, said Saki's soul as both Hana-chan, Nikki, and Saki closed their eyes. As Andrew hit Jane till she bled, he also drowned her over and over in a tub, then threw Jane in a pit in his backyard. Can't somebody save me? Please, said Jane as she couldn't move. The souls came to talk to her. Alright, time for the final chapter, the final fate, Fate 4 basically. If you haven't noticed it already about what I said to look out for earlier, hopefully y'all saw it by now. Because that certain character did not get a reborn life. But surprisingly it happened. Eventually. Also, if you haven't known throughout Jane's metamorphosis, her state begins to break down along with her emotions. And her hair is different colors. She started out with black hair. When you saw her meet Andrew, she had yellow hair. And then, by force, here's a little bit of lore. She got her hair dyed green because that was the eye color for Andrew, and he didn't like it if no girl had their hair green for some reason. That's just how his character is. But luckily, you won't be seeing him anymore. Is he dead? Not really. He's not. Is he gonna die? I don't know. This is the final Metamorphosis chapter. Let's get right into it. Here we go. Here's the ending for Metamorphosis 3. The entire complete ending. Here we go. And as a warning, yes, it's very sad. Alright, final fate. Fate 4. Jane's complete metamorphosis of passing to death with the other souls in a reborn life. There we go. God. I can't move. I can't get up. Someone help me. Can you please try to get up, please? Said Niki's soul. As Jane tried to stand, her legs wobbled. Then she fell back down as she cried, and she vomited up blood. Jane, you're dying. If you trust me and us, if you trust us, take our hand, said Saki Yoshida's soul. As Jane reached out, she said, Yes, Saki, everyone, I trust you. As I touched everyone's hand, I woke up in a yard of a house with everyone. Hey-ya, said Hana-chan. Never knew I would relive life after you shot me, but welcome, said Niki. I'm glad to see you, Jane, said Jay. It's nice to have ya, said Saki Yoshida. And here comes a familiar line that everybody probably knows from the first one. After they welcomed me, I was happy again. I was finally reborn. So there's Jane with her normal hair color again, no injuries, in her reborn life with everybody. And there she is dead on the ground, smiling with tears and blood on her face. And this note says, The End. This was the final chapter of the Metamorphosis series. This concludes the Metamorphosis Chronicles. Thanks so much for watching and voting yes. And may they never fade from our memories. Rest in peace, Saki Yoshida, Hana-chan, Jay, Niki, and Jane. You all have been reborn. So yeah, that's it. Let us all bow down for a moment in respect of a little bit of silence. Well, y'all wanted a third one. There you go. In general, there is only 3 Metamorphosis mangas. This honestly does conclude it. There is never going to be a 4th Metamorphosis. If that breaks your heart, which why would that break your heart? You don't want to see a 4th one. There's only 3. So, let's break it down right quick. We had Saki Yoshida's story, the first one. We had Jay and Niki Jibane's story, the second one. Then we finally had Jane, the third one. If you ask me this in the comments, do you think all the protagonists are interesting and good? Yeah. I don't see a problem with them. It's just the way that what happens when you eventually see that, hey, it's a sad story, and what happens to the protagonists in Metamorphosis? They all die. Terrible deaths. Well, that's it. That's Metamorphosis 3, the Fate chapter. If y'all haven't noticed who I was talking about and referring to as a little Easter egg hint, since she never got a reborn life, if the ending had never said this, you would have never known. It was Niki Jibane. Remember, Niki never got a reborn life, but won some lore. I guess her soul just said, hey, I want to relive life. So, there you go. She has a relived life. Everybody is now happy in a different life, reborn in a different life. Hana-chan, Saki Yoshida, Niki, Jay, and Jane. They're all happy now. And I guess you could call them a big family. And yes, this is still canon to the storyline. Don't get me wrong. It is still canon. But there's never going to be a 4th one for whoever wants a 4th one. It's not happening. I'm sorry. But enough of our souls being drenched in sadness. This has been Saki Nakaido's Stuff of Fun You Learn to Anime 2024 here. AKA John Pullman, writer, manga author name, and Gabe. Now, that said, for anybody who's interested in this last part here, eventually, I'm going to go ahead and redo the tier list of Wonder Weapons along with many other tier lists with Lazy Gaming 7780. This includes Resident Evil things that he knows about. He knows about Call of Duty more than me. I know about Resident Evil more than him. I hope he does actually know a little bit of lore. I'm not expecting all of it. Don't worry about that. But if you don't, my guy, I can go ahead and catch you up to speed really fast. Would it take a minute? Maybe in a nutshell, but yeah. Alright, everybody. I don't have much more to say, so that all said and done. Everybody stay safe. Have a great day out there. I'll see all you in the next one, viewers. Peace out. Bye-bye. Remember, may their souls never fade from our memories.